Have you ever wondered why the waters between the Philippines and Indonesia are under such intense scrutiny? Powerful nations are suddenly investing in naval drills and security partnerships here. But is it just about borders, or is it about controlling a vital sea corridor? The stakes are incredibly high. Trillions of dollars in global trade flow through these waters every year. Whoever shapes the balance of power here influences global commerce and security. That's why the Philippines and Indonesia held MTA Felindo 2025, a significant naval exercise. This event has sparked attention and concern, especially from Beijing. Welcome to Now Leo Know, where we uncover powerful truths and eye-opening knowledge. Hit subscribe and join us as we explore the implications of these drills and alliances. Let's dive into what it all means for the future of the South China Sea. The MTA Felindo 2025 naval drills were more than just a training exercise. They carried a powerful message of cooperation and resilience. Indonesia's KRI Lumba Lumba 881 and the Philippines' BRP Armio Ricarde joined forces near their maritime border. On the surface, it was about security and professionalism. But deeper down, it was a show of unity in uncertain times. This border is a vital crossroads for trade and resources. Both nations share a duty to protect it from piracy and illegal activities. Their partnership reflects a response to the shifting dynamics in the South China Sea. Manila stands firm on the 2016 UN ruling, while Jakarta upholds UNCLOS principles. They're not just defending territory, they're reinforcing international law. Southeast Asian states can assert their role in maintaining order. This blend of military and diplomatic efforts is what makes their cooperation significant. It's not just about drills, it's about shaping perceptions. Maritime sovereignty is non-negotiable, and they're making that clear. The exercises in Cebu connect to broader alliances in the region. Before MTA Felindo, the Philippines hosted ALON 2025 with the US, Canada, and Australia. Indonesia co-led Super Garuda Shield 2025 with the US, involving 13 nations. This collaboration shows ASEAN members are growing comfortable working together. Southeast Asia has been cautious about aligning with superpowers. But now, archipelagic states are uniting to make their voices heard. These drills signal readiness and commitment to international law. When smaller states unite, they amplify their strategic weight. One drill won't change everything overnight, but cooperation raises the stakes for those seeking control. Predictably, Beijing responded swiftly to the recent military drills. China's Ministry of National Defense criticized them as destabilizing and unnecessary. They warned that military cooperation shouldn't target any third party, yet their patrols around disputed areas are claimed to be routine. But here's the paradox. These patrols often overlap with regional drills. They occur near contested areas like Scarborough Shoal and Second Thomas Shoal. When Chinese vessels shadow Philippine ships, it raises questions. Is this really just routine? This tit-for-tat dynamic of drills and patrols has become the new normal. While China insists on deterrence, Southeast Asia is signaling differently. Countries that once hesitated to challenge Beijing are now forming coalitions. The more the Philippines and Indonesia coordinate, the harder it is for unilateral actions to go unchecked. Indonesia, once seen as neutral, has shifted its stance after tensions in the Natuna Islands. Chinese vessels have entered waters Jakarta claims, leading to protests and naval responses. This pressure has brought Indonesia closer to the Philippines. By emphasizing international law, Jakarta shows it won't tolerate incursions. For the Philippines, this partnership is crucial. With Indonesia alongside, Manila isn't alone against larger powers. They form a regional bloc focused on legal resolution and defense cooperation. This is why the Indo-Philippine naval exercise matters so much. It demonstrates that shared vulnerabilities can lead to shared strength. The story of maritime security in Southeast Asia has evolved beyond just ships and submarines. Now, it's about information, surveillance, and awareness. Countries like the Philippines and Indonesia are heavily investing in maritime domain awareness. They're building sensor networks, satellite monitoring, and interoperable communication systems. Why does this matter? In today's maritime chessboard, detecting and sharing incursions is as crucial as having ships in the water. An invisible incursion can be denied, but one that's tracked and shared becomes a liability for the aggressor. This is why Southeast Asian nations are enhancing intelligence sharing and joint patrols. They're ensuring that actions at sea can't stay hidden in the shadows. Some might see these drills as panic in response to Beijing's actions, but the reality is much more strategic. Exercises like MTA Felindo 2025 are not desperate, they're calculated moves. By conducting joint drills, Manila and Jakarta show they're not alone in this. Aligning with global partners like the US, Japan, Australia, and India strengthens their security network. This isn't about direct confrontation, it's about raising the threshold for risk. The more neighbors cooperate, the harder it is for unilateral actions to succeed without facing resistance. It's crucial to remember that Indonesia, Malaysia, and the Philippines have a long history of collaboration. For decades, they've united against piracy and terrorism in the Sulu and Celebes seas. What we're witnessing now is a natural evolution of that partnership. They're shifting focus from just criminal threats to broader maritime stability and sovereignty. By adapting their frameworks, ASEAN states are demonstrating their flexibility. They're not abandoning non-alignment, but they're also not sitting back. Instead, they're taking charge in shaping the region's security landscape. This historical continuity adds credibility to their current efforts. It's not a sudden change, it's an expansion of what's already been built. And for everyday citizens, this is more significant than we might think. Every safe container ship, every harassment-free fishing boat, and every ounce of national pride at sea shows that unity is about more than military might. It's about protecting livelihoods, dignity, and our shared hope for a secure future. So why does this matter? Because the South China Sea is a vital artery for global trade, moving around $5 trillion in goods each year. It's also rich in fisheries and potential energy resources. Controlling this corridor means gaining not just economic benefits, but geopolitical power. That's why small actions like joint patrols and legal assertions hold so much weight. The Philippines and Indonesia know that once sovereignty is lost, it's tough to reclaim. By acting now, they're investing in long-term security and independence. For those watching from afar, it might seem like distant politics, but it impacts every household directly. From fuel prices to the fish we eat, stability in these waters affects us all. Defending sovereignty isn't just about flags and borders. It's about ensuring a better life for future generations. I've been thinking a lot about the recent naval drills in Southeast Asia. It's not just about the size of the drills, but a shift in mindset. Countries that once hesitated are now standing up for themselves. This is a quiet yet powerful change in the region. It's not about aggression, it's about setting boundaries. By raising the bar for tolerance, nations like Manila and Jakarta are leading the way. This means reassurance for citizens who felt voiceless before. People are witnessing a collective courage that inspires hope. This isn't just diplomacy, it's a message to everyone in the region. Fishermen, traders, and students see their nations as guardians of their future. The story of these drills goes beyond military exercises. It's about the future of Southeast Asia and its resilience. Small and medium nations are proving they are not powerless. By working together, they can shape their own rules. In a world dominated by global powers, this is inspiring. It's not panic, it's preparation for what's ahead. It's not provocation, it's about protection. Unity among smaller states can be the strongest deterrent. When fear is replaced by unity, even the smallest nations can stand tall. This narrative is about resilience, dignity, and determination. Everyone has a role to play in this vision for the future.